Hey y'all. Oh shit. Okay. There it is. What's going on? Okay, so hope everybody's doing alright. Michael and I decided to do like a part 2 to the last episode that we did because we wanted to go in like deeper into some subjects, because just looking at the comments, I've seen that other people obviously have been in my situation before, and it might be helpful to have some ideas from somebody that has experience with dating or falling in love or marrying or dealing with someone that's incarcerated. Okay, so I think we're going to talk about trust and compromise today. Trust and compromise. I think what started this whole thing was we were talking about basically like if you love somebody and you're in a situation with them while they're, incarcerated, and you guys have all these like hopes and dreams and like, plans of what you're going to do when you guys are, together in real life or whatever. And then the person gets out and they change their mind. Like, and then things don't go as you planned. Like, how do you handle that? Do you like express disappointment by blaming it on that other person for them not meeting your expectations or not keeping their word or whatever, however you want to word it? Or do you grant them grace and compromise with, what they're doing? You know what I mean? So I think that's what we're going to talk about. Shit. I guess I don't know. I mean, I recommend compromising. You know what I mean? That's what I recommend. I guess it would have to depend on the situation a lot, but I don't know. How can you expect somebody to keep their word or not change their mind if they really don't know what they want? You can say what you want, but when you get here, it's different, right?
What's the two choices for compromise? What?
Trust. Like being able to trust the person that's outside, out in the world. And when that person finally does get with you, and like if you change your mind, am I going to be willing to compromise with you?
Oh, yeah. What? And just do...
Like, we were supposed to live together when you got out, and we were supposed to do this and that, but obviously we didn't. So am I mad about it? Like, am I going to be upset with you, or am I going to compromise with you to still be able to, like, develop whatever, potentially develop whatever we had originally planned, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. And how other people deal with it and fuck it all up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So, you just did a relationship with this person, a long distance relationship, because he locked up and you out here. And he come home and he has to stay in a transition house. You closer than the relationship you just had when he was in prison, but you don't leave him because he's not staying with you?
I mean, if like the average person probably would, especially if that was like previously discussed. Like, oh yeah, we're going to live together, because we talked about that for a long time in our relationship. And then only towards the end, you were like, I think I'm going to go there because I have better like opportunities, I have better help, resources. And I mean, somebody could easily take that as like, oh, this nigga, you know what I mean? That wasn't the ultimate reason why we, but yeah, that shit was like difficult. So, I mean, I could have easily been like, oh, no, hell no. But instead I chose to like compromise, I guess. I mean, I didn't have a choice, but I believe I chose to compromise, shit. And I think that is like, I think for a man and a bossy female at least, like compromise is probably the number one thing in a relationship. Because, or any female, anybody, because everybody comes from two different, like, sides of the track or whatever. So you got to make it work by being able to like accommodate some of their stuff, if that makes sense. Like if this person likes sushi and you hate sushi, you still got to go have sushi with them sometimes. Like, I mean, you ain't got to eat the raw shit, because that's probably why you don't like sushi, because it's the raw shit. But somebody told me they got shit you can eat that's cooked in sushi. So anyway, side note. And then being able to trust that person is telling you the truth. Like, can you trust? Because I know a lot of people do this kind of shit, and then the motherfucker get out, and then they immediately just go do hell at, I mean, I have a family member who, was in a relationship with a man in prison for 5 years, and as soon as the nigga got out, he, like, cheated on her and had babies and all kind of shit, and was just doing all kind of fuck shit. But their plan was to, like, get married and, for him to act right. And I have another cousin who told me about her cousin on her other cousin's side who had a nigga and he got out and oh my God, y'all. I guess I don't know if I can go into the story, but I could because I don't know them. This is all y'all don't know him either. So the nigga came home one night and he had like a wet spot in the back of his pants, right? And turns out he was getting fucked in the ass, so he like was a faggot or something. And I mean, can I say that? Anyway, you just never know. So it's trust involved, like to be able to take that risk, I guess. But it's better than being like mad at the person because they changed their mind. It's better than like holding it against them that they don't want to do what they originally thought they did, because there's nothing wrong with changing your mind. And it's better than like just totally like leaving them alone. Or, I mean, sometimes I guess it depends. What you think? What would you have wanted me to do? Like if all that shit happened and then you got out, changed your mind, and how would you have wanted me to react? Like if you were like, Kiana, I don't want to be with you. Like if we were together, I don't want to be with you, but I still want you around in my life. I want to go do A, B, and C. What would be your ideal reaction from your woman?
If I got out, we together. When I walk out the door, and I'm not ready to settle down. I want to do something different.
But we had talked about you settling down. Like the plan was for you to just settle down and this and that. But you changed your mind.
The ideal reaction.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the ideal reaction gonna be for you to understand.
Okay.
Compromise. Do some of that compromise.
Sprinkle some of that compromise on you. And just like chill in the cut, or like, I mean,
it depends on what the goal is, what the end game is.
That's fair. All right.
As long as both parties know what the end game is, and it shouldn't be no.
I don't understand it.
I mean, you can't play no guessing game.
This is true. If you know what's up, you can't act like you don't. I actually recently learned that. You know, not learned it, but I guess realized that because it's obvious. But you know, that's why it's always good to be honest, because a person can't tell you. You can't act like you didn't know. You always know. But anyway, so did you find it like difficult to like? Because I know that you have been in relationships before me, where like your trust was like compromised. You know, somebody lied to you or played some games with you or whatever. So did you think that did you find it hard to like trust me like in the beginning, or did you just kind of like trust me off the bat because you just knew I was a real nigga, or did you just like like over time you was like, okay, I can trust this girl since she's giving me like access to her like that? Or was it always just kind of like a trust thing, like the whole way through?
Yeah, I think.
You think what? Could you trust me? Did you trust me?
In some ways, in some areas.
Okay. So in some areas, no.
I mean, it wasn't that I didn't trust you. It was that I was uncertain of your reaction because you were very unpredictable.
Okay. That's good. I mean, I guess it's good and bad. Okay. That's fair. But did you ultimately trust that I was, like, that I loved you and that I was doing what I said I was going to be doing for the most part? Not just because of my reaction, but if you say do something, did you think that I was going to get it done? Or sometimes? Yeah. Yes?
One way or another. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good. I mean, that's trust. You trust that I'm going to get it done. Well, I trusted you. I trusted your word because that's really all I had. And I trusted that what you said was that I could trust, that I could trust your word, basically. Because there was times where you told me to do stuff that applied to my life and not yours. You know what I mean? Like giving me sound advice on things I should do in my own life. Like the bills and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I would have to trust that you just had my best interest at heart for the most part. Okay. I believe you did. I believe you did. Shit. Because here we are, right? Here we are. So, yeah, that's just pretty much that. I think trust is always going to be an issue in any relationship or whatever, but especially in that kind of relationship, because you really do have to just trust what somebody is telling you. It doesn't take a lot to to not trust somebody in that situation. Any type of thing could be a lie, anything could be game, especially in prison, because niggas got a lot of time on their hands. But you can, if you really tap into your gut feeling, you could tell, the difference. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that's what it was for me anyway. Just developing trust. Once I was able to trust you, I was able to love you more and do more for you and be more open to,
Yeah, that's the foundation.
The foundation. That's what it is. Fuck. And a lot of compromising. Because I've never been in a relationship with nobody like you. I've always been the boss. Or not the boss, but the decision maker. Maybe the boss. I don't know what you call it. The boss. Boss is biatch.
The one with the pants.
I'm a boss bitch by nature. But in certain situations, you have to be more in my marriage, especially, I felt because I was married to someone that wasn't as strong-headed as you are. So, it's just different. It's different to be able to believe that somebody else knows the way versus the way that I've always been doing it. It's going down out there.
For sure.
I don't hear no ambulance. That sounds like a high
It's tough. You had to be tough. It's all good.
Like a real nigga would,
A lot of women these days gotta be tough.
Unfortunately. But I don't want to be tough no more. I'm ready to be soft and sit back and do a little chilling. You know what I mean? Alright, I have a question too. If you felt say for example, that I did lie to you about something, or that I was playing about something, if it happened to just be true, would you feel like you needed to get would you feel like you needed to get revenge on me, or do you feel like you would been able to just forgive me, or would you have not been able to forgive me? If I lied to you about something and you found out, just out of curiosity.
About something. Well, I don't know. It depends on the depth of the lie.
Okay. What if it was a big thing, something that was pretty important, or something that actually changed the dynamic of our relationship, or something? I can't think of anything, but would you feel hurt? Okay, let me think. What if I told you could come here and at the last minute I said you couldn't come here? You know what I mean? And then you had to figure out your living situation at the last minute. Would you have forgiven me and still fucked with me, or would you have been nah, this bitch got me fucked up and been ready to come snap my neck? Y'all hear that? I'm curious about this one. It's a Q&A, that's all.
Because if you told me I could stay here and then you changed on at the last minute. Mm-hmm. You want the real answer?
Yeah.
You know me.
That is an answer. I do know him. So yeah, okay. That would have been over with. I'm going to tell you that right now. Yeah, because that's a pretty big one anyway. That's a pretty big one because, you got a lot of shit invested in that move. That is probably the most extreme. Well, obviously that wouldn't happen. I was just curious what you thought. Have you ever been in that situation where not necessarily about to go live with a bitch, but well, yeah, you have, right? He was about to marry someone once. He left somebody at the altar. He did, y'all. He had a lot of bitches though. A lot of bitches. He's been through a lot of shit in there. Actually, what we were talking about last night is him just having his own because he was telling me some shit about him being, in this 24-hour lockup type, not 23, 24-hour lockup situation for 3 years. 3 years this nigga did that. And how he mentally was able to get through it, and how he was able to stay mentally strong, which is crazy to think about as an individual that is not facing that, but to be in that situation. I think what he has to tell the world would be helpful for anybody, not just in prison. If you're in a situation where you just need to sometimes mentally check out, it'll be pretty dope. So we're gonna think about doing that. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, we wanted to touch on this because I think that's something important that people should like know about just anything. Like everybody should have a little wiggle room to like change their mind, and it shouldn't be like, oh, well, you said da, 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 da. And the motherfucker be like, well, I changed my mind, and you like, what? Oh, that's crazy. And then they want to make you feel bad because nobody's used to hearing that. Like I've said that to people before. I'm like, I change my mind. I change my mind every 15, 20 minutes. So if I don't want to do something tomorrow that I said today, at least I'm telling you, like, hey, I changed my mind. So what's worse though? Like telling somebody you changed your mind, or like leading you on and playing games with you and keeping you in the dark when they could just tell you the truth, and then you could go on with your life, or you can deal with it. I mean, you'll be surprised what some people are willing to deal with. So just always like give somebody that room and that like courtesy to tell them what it is, and then give somebody the room to change their mind, because people should be able to change their mind, especially when that's such a big decision like that. That's why I always talk about like college and stuff. Like, how can a child, an 18-year-old that really doesn't really know even what they want yet, make a decision to like pick a career that's supposed to last them for the rest of their life and pay all this money or whatever? I believe that a lot of people don't go to work in their field and they get all this debt and stuff like that.
Whole bunch of degrees for nothing.
Yeah, you change your mind. Like, you don't even want to do that shit no more. That shit's so fucking like crazy how that works. How like we get to change our mind sometimes. So, you know, never get stuck in one spot mentally or physically, you know. And if you love somebody, or if you're dealing with somebody in your life, like grant them that same, like, you know, benefit of being able to say, man, I changed my mind. Because that is respect and love when they're able to tell you that, you know what I mean? Or this is just what it is, you know? That's respect and love too. Why is honesty so like frowned upon? I don't know. I guess people rather have people play games with them. I'd rather not. But it's better to just be honest. You'll be surprised. Your life will be better if you just tell the truth. Don't you agree?
Honestly, you'll be surprised what people would work with you with. Just give it to them, put it on the table. You know, I mean, man.
Might fuck around and be happy, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy. You might fuck around and be happy.
Some things ain't for everybody, but somebody will.
That's true. If somebody won't, somebody else will, or however that shit goes. What the other one, what you won't do, another bitch will. That's basically it. That's the way I know it.
Man.
Ain't that some shit? You know what Jeffrey Epstein said?
Who's worth it? Who's worth it? Who's worth you?
Who's worth it?
Who's worth you going to, you know, to your limit with?
You wish the limit. You Sky?
Man, whatever.
I agree with that. If it's worth it, you'll do it. If something means something to you, or even a little bit of something, you'll do something for it. You know what I mean? You'll make it work. You'll compromise.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jeffrey Epstein said, he told some guy, the guy was asking about some bitch he had, and he was like, hey, we're not selfish over here, take them both, and they're sisters. This nigga was a pimp, y'all. This nigga was a pimp, and I put that on my bucket list because I would like to say that to somebody one day. I would. Like, we ain't selfish over here, take both them bitches, they sisters. Mark my word, I'm gonna say that to somebody one day. And y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all about it. Alright, we're just fucking around over here, bored, I guess, more than anything. My next little episode, I'm gonna go back into the story because I wanted to talk about this, like a few things that happened between January and March. Like, I got into a couple fights, and I wanted to like go back into my divorce and like clarify the actual reason why it happened. I don't know if I did or not, but I wanted to clarify that. And I also wanted to talk about like the reason why I left San Quentin, like what happened with the CO dude or whatever. So, you want to say anything else?
No, I'm just here to support you, man. You know what I'm saying?
This some good week.
I'm a supporter of the people. You know me.
Yes. He came here just to be sexy, really. I asked him to do that because all the ladies love him. And last time I had a whole bunch of bitches on here like, oh, good morning. I know it's late or early. Late and early.
Can't see they friend.
That too. But a sexy nigga helps. I would tune in, not to be like on some weird shit, but I'd take a glance here and there. And I'm sure the anticipation of knowing Michael was on a lot of people's mind. because I was thinking about that today. Like, a lot of people knew I worked at San Quentin, but a lot of people didn't know why, or what was my reason why I got the job up there. Obvious reasons why people didn't know, but it's kind of interesting to think, like, a lot of people just thought I just got a job up there and was driving up there every day like a crazy person. I mean, I am. I'm definitely crazy. But in a good way. And a lot of fun, so it balances it out. And I have nice boobs. Alright. So, till next time, y'all. Be fresh, stay safe, and I don't know. I gotta think of a little outro. I'll get back to y'all. Alright, bye.